Hello friends, welcome back to the biology class. So last class we have studied about the scientific classification of the organisms, then kingdom Monera. Okay. In this chapter we will be studying about the kingdom Protista, kingdom Mycota, okay, the very brief introduction on plant kingdom, okay, animal kingdom, and we will study about the viruses. Okay. So plant and the animal kingdom you will study in the next chapter in very detail. Okay. The kingdom Protista, it includes single celled eukaryotes. Okay. So they are single celled, they are well defined nucleus and other membrane bound organelles are found in that. Okay. Some have flagella or cilia. If they are motile, if they have a movement, they will have a flagella or cilia. Okay. They are link between the animal and the plants. Okay. So connectivity between the prokaryotic as well as the eukaryotic, as well as it will diversify into the animals, plants. Okay. So sorry, not in the plants, it's animals and the mycota. Okay. They may be autotrophs or heterotrophs or saprophytes. So mainly they are aquatic. Okay. So they are autotrophs, that they can synthesize their own foods. Okay. The heterotrophs depend or digest the colozoic, they can digest the food, or the saprophytes, that they grow on the dead and decaying organisms. Okay. They reproduce sexually as well as asexual reproduction. So mainly it is a asexual reproduction is seen in this kingdom. They are divided into chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenoids, slime modes and protozoans. Okay. The chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenoids, slime modes and the protozoans. So one by one we will study. Okay. So they are divided into chrysophytes. Okay. They are divided into dinoflagellates. They are divided into euglenoids. They are divided into slime modes, and they are divided into protozoans. Okay. So the first thing we will study about the chrysophytes. Okay. So they are found in fresh water and both in the marine water. Okay. So they are known as pearls of ocean. Okay. So they are known as pearls of ocean or jewel of the plant world. Okay. So they are known as jewel of the plant world. Okay. So they are very beautiful, that's why they have given this name. Okay. So they are pearls of ocean. Okay. They microscopic, float passively in water currents. Okay. So they are known as actually planktons. Okay. They are actually known as planktons. Okay. So usually they float using the current of the plant. So the most of them are photosynthetic. Okay. So they are the producers for the ocean usually. So it includes the diatoms and golden algae. Okay. So they are also known as desmites. Okay. So golden algae also known as desmites. Okay. The diatoms, okay, they have a silica, okay, the cell wall contains the silica forming two thin overlapping shells, okay, which fit together as a soap box. So you must have seen the soap box, okay. So if I have this, okay, as then overlapping one more will be there, so they look as a soap box. So they have a two kind of cell walls, okay, so they divided and they fix one next to the other, so they are known as actually, okay, hypotheca and epitheca, all these are there, okay. So okay, and okay, diatoms are the chief producers of the ocean. So the producers, you all know that you have studied in the ecology, so very important, they come in the bottom of the your chart, okay. So they comes under the producers, okay, in the oceans. So what happens once they die? The cell wall deposits, okay, they does not disintegrate or biodegrade very easily. The cell wall gets deposited, accumulates over the billions of years, forms, and they form the diatomaceous earth, okay, so known as diatomaceous earth. It is used in polishing, filtration of oils, syrups, etc. Dinoflagellates, okay. So next we will study about the chrysophytes, okay. The next one is dinoflagellates, okay. As the name dinoflagellates means that it has the two flagella, one is longitudinal and one is transverse, okay. So they have the two flagella, okay. They appear yellow, green, brown, blue, red depending on the main pigments in the cells, okay. They are marine and photosynthetic. The cell wall has stiff cellulose plates on the outer surface, so they become very hard when you see looks hard, and they have a furrows in between, okay. So you can see the grooves or the furrows in between the two plates where usually the flagellae arise, okay. So there is a two flagellae you can see, okay. And usually the dinoflagellates are like, most of them okay, they have, and the other okay, most of them have two flagella, one lies longitudinally and the other transversely in a furrow between the wall plates, okay. Red dinoflagellates, okay, so it's an example for what dinoflagellates can do, okay. So Goniolox, okay, so undergoes rapid multiplication so that the sea appears red tides, okay. So Goniolox, it's actually forms, okay, you can see here in the picture. So it's a sea is like red color, that is how they multiply rapidly and becomes, and even the sea sailors find difficult to identify what is going on, okay. So they gives that, and they also release toxins that kill marine animals like fishes, okay. Sometimes it may not be fishes, it usually gets accumulated in the fishes. When human being eats it, it causes neurotoxins, so that is also very dangerous, okay. So you can see here, so flagella, okay, so longitudinal and transverse flagellum, so okay, both the flagella it have, it is the self plate, so okay, hard self plate, okay, inside that, okay. So there are the other parts of the dinoflagellates, that is not important, but you have to remember that dino means dinoflagellate is two, okay. So they have a two flagella, and usually they, okay, they give the color to the seas depending on the, so colors, they give the colors to the seas and causes the tide having the same color, and if any helps in the toxifying the animals, okay, the fishes or any other animals get killed by these red tides or the dinoflagellates, okay. Next it comes to the euglenoids. Okay, euglenoids, they are freshwater, mainly freshwater organisms found in stagnant water. Okay, so you usually you see that green color, sometimes it's due to the euglena. Instead of cell wall, they have a protein rich layer called pellicle. Okay, so they don't have the cell wall. Usually the cell wall contains cellulose. Okay, it gives a flexibility to the body. So the euglenoids have the both the characteristic of animal as well as the plant. Okay, so they are photosynthetic as well as they are heterotrophs. Okay, they have a chlorophyll as well as they have the locomotion, they move also. Okay, so they have the both characteristic of the animals as well as the plants. Okay, they have two flagella, a short and a long one. Okay, so they have a very short flagella they have, and they have the very long. So you can see here the long flagella. Okay, so usually you must have studied in your the lower class. Okay, so you have like this. Okay, and then you have the flagella. Okay, so the big flagella is there, and also you will have the chlorophyll. Okay, the pigments are also there. Okay, so they are all eukaryotic, so the nucleus also will be there. Okay, they are photosynthetic in the presence of sunlight. In the absence of sunlight, they behave like heterotrophs by predating on the other organisms. Okay, so they become a predator, they engulf the organism and they eat it and gets digested. The pigments are identical to those of higher plants. Okay, so they are linked between the both plants and the animals. Okay, so the euglena is an example for the euglenoids. Okay, then comes under the next is slime molds. Okay, slime molds. The slime means very slimy or soapy. Okay, so to touch, when you have a shiny nature on the top, when you see them, they are very shiny and soapy nature. They are mainly saprophytic. Okay, so these are saprophytic. Okay, the body moves along decaying twigs and leaves, engulfing organic matter. That means they are growing in the dead and decaying organic matter. Okay, so they go feeds together. Okay, so they go the long feet together and they cover this, and okay, usually you see during the rainy season on the logs. Okay, boost anta heltaralla aa tara kaansutte, but it is not boost. Okay, so they will have a colors like they will be yellowish, oranges. Okay, so this will happen. Under suitable condition, they form a aggregation called plasmodium. Okay, so it's a aggregation andre ella ottagi they form a aggregation. It may spread over the several feet. Okay, so they become a patch on the wood. Okay, for the several feet they go on growing on that. Okay, so but unfavorable condition, what happens? Plasmodium differentiate and forms fruiting body bearing spores at their tips. Okay, so what happens? Under unfavorable condition, Plasmodium differentiate and forms a fruiting body bearing spores at their tips. Okay, so this is how the fruiting body looks like. Okay, so doesn't look easily. Okay, so you have to clearly observe. Okay, so it will have a true walls, and they are highly resistant and survive for many years. Okay, so they are highly resistant. Okay, in the next rainy season, they will, when the conditions are favorable, they grow into the slime modes. Okay, so that is the advantage. That's why when you see, when the rainy seasons are over, these disappear, and when the next rainy season, they starts again growing. Even the many organisms, lower organisms, have that capacity. During the unfavorable condition, they go under the dormant stage, and once the favorable condition comes, they become the blooming and survival. Again they will grow very. Okay, and spores are dispersed by air currents. Okay, when there is a air, these spores are dispersed. Okay, so the haploid spores, okay, forms the gametes, and they two spores get fertilized, and fertilization takes place, zygote formation takes place, then plasmodium will grow. Okay, the plasmodium will grow, then fruiting body will formed, and again meiosis, this cycle will go on. This is how the life cycles of the, okay, these slime molds. Okay, so but the peculiarity of slime molds is like it is more of a mycota characteristic than the animal. So they more have this. So it's a peculiar unique organism placed in the Protista, because they next we have the protozoans. So they are heterotrophs, predators and the parasites. Okay, next is protozoans. So they are not, okay, so they are actually predators and parasites. Okay, predators and parasites. So you are all examples of Paramecium, who is a predator. You are example of Plasmodium, which causes the malaria. So Vivax, all that. Okay, they are primitive relatives of animals. Okay, so they are mainly have the animal characteristics. Okay, four groups of protozoan: amoeboid protozoan, flagellated protozoan, ciliated protozoan and sporozoans. Okay, okay, so they are divided into four amoeboid protozoan, flagellated protozoan, ciliated protozoan and sporozoans. Okay, so these are four types of protozoans. Okay, the first one we'll see amoeboid protozoans. Okay, live in fresh water, okay, sea water or moist soil. Okay, so that means they present in almost all type of water wherever there is a water availability, that is fresh water, sea water and moist soil. They move and capture prey by putting out pseudopodia. The examples of amoeboid is amoeba. Okay, so amoeba, what? They don't have any shape. Okay, so they have the shape. So whenever there is a food available or the movement, what happens? They put forward the pseudopodia, the false feet, and then what happens? They engulf the food. The food is enter into the cytoplasm, gets digested. Okay, so it also helps in the movement. As the pseudopodia is put forward, okay, then the other parts of the body also move in the same direction. Like that they will slowly move from one place to the other. Okay. Marine forms have a silica shells on their surface. Okay. Some are parasites. Okay. So, Entamoeba histolytica, you must have heard about it. Okay. Entamoeba histolytica. Okay. So, this causes the dysentery. Okay. So, that is also amoebiasis. Okay. So, that caused by this organism. Okay. So, this is how entamoeba looks like that. Okay. This is an example of amoeba. The food vacuole you can see here, you can see the cytoplasm. The contractile vacuole is also present in the protozoans. So, these contractile vacuole help them in the osmoregulation. Okay. That is okay, osmoregulation. That means okay, they have to maintain that osmosis, okay, the water content in the inside the body. So, what happens when they are in the fresh water or in the saline water, the hypotonic and the isotonic concentration of the cytoplasm, okay, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ನೀರಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ the body inside the cytoplasm has a more salt when compared to the fresh water. In the fresh water, what happens that time? The water enters into the body. Okay. Okay. If I have a amoeba here, okay, so if it is a cytoplasm will have a more salt and fresh water will have a less salt, right? So, what happens then? The water from fresh, it will move into the cytoplasm. So, what happens when it moves into the cytoplasm? The cell water content goes on increases, so it may get burst. Okay. So, it may get burst. So, that should not happen. So, they have to regulate the osmosis or the salt content of the cytoplasm and also water content. Okay. So, osmosis is a actually movement of the water molecule from higher concentration to the lower concentration. Okay. So, the from higher concentration move. So, that should not occur. So, they regulate using the contractile vacuole. So, excess water is always pushed out. Okay. Then flagellated protozoan, they are free living and parasites. Okay. So, next one is flagellated. Flagellated protozoans, they are free living or parasites. So, they have a flagella. The parasitic forms causes disease like sleeping sickness, the trypanosoma. Okay. So, you can see here the trypanosoma organism, protozoa. Okay. So, they have a flagellum. Okay. And see, they usually causes in African countries causing the sleeping sickness. That means they have a sleeping disorders. They cannot sleep properly or the pattern of the sleeping will change. They will get fever, headache, okay, all those things. Okay. But it needs the vector to transfer the disease. Okay. So, that is TC fly. Okay. So, this will help in the transfer or the spreading of the disease. Okay. The trypanosoma is usually spreads by the fly known as TC fly. Usually you see in the African country. If you want to fly to the African country, you have to get vaccinated by this organisms. Okay. Then ciliated okay. The ciliated next comes. Okay, aquatic actively move using the cilia. The example is for the ciliated is Paramecium. Okay, slipper animalcule, it is also known as a slipper animalcule because it has the shape of the slipper. Okay, aquatic actively move using the cilia because it has a numerous cilia around the body. Okay, so you can see in that slide also. Okay, so it's like this, and it will completely have the cilia. So due to this numerous cilia, they move, okay, very fast. Okay, so the movement is seen. Okay, due to the movement of cilia, water with the food enters into the gullet. Okay, so they have a gullet or the cavity that opens to outside. Okay, so actually they have a gullet, that is the, you can call it as a primitive mouth. Okay, so primitive mouth it will have here. So what happens when the cilia starts moving, the water also will have the current, then water moves into the gullet. Okay, so that's how they get their food. Okay, example Paramecium, you can see that even it will also have the contractile vacuole. Okay, cilia, pellicle, okay, oral groove, it will have in the oral groove. Okay, so actually in this the oral groove it will have the gullet. Okay, so it's also known as buccal crease. Okay, that is a primitive mouth, and cell mouth. Okay, okay, anal pore, that is to remove the undigested food. Okay, food vacuole it will have a cytoplasm. Okay, macronucleus, micronucleus, radiating canals. Okay, so these are the part. So it's not that important, but you should know these things. Okay, okay, about example is Paramecium. Next is sporozoans. They have an infectious spore like stage in their life cycles. Okay, example Plasmodium. Okay, so example malarial parasite, it causes the malaria. So which mosquito? Anopheles female mosquito helps in the transfer of this disease. Okay, so Plasmodium example. They have an infectious spore like stage in their life. Okay, so usually they have a life stage in two hosts, that is the mosquito as well as in the human being. Okay, so they form the spores and then they will be spread. So there are, you can see here we have given the 4 example. Okay, Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malariae, Plasmodium ovale. Okay, so these are the 4 species of Plasmodium which causes the malarial disease. Out of that, Plasmodium vivax is the most, okay, common, and next falciparum. Okay, so the structure it will be shown here. So that is not actually important for your studies. Okay, so this how this protozoan protista is divided into, okay, groups. Now we'll again summarize once what is a protozoans. Okay, so I am not gone into very detail of the protista because whatever is required for your classes I have done. So further clarification if you require, you can contact your teachers and find out what else you want. Okay, so briefly, okay, so whatever the time limits we have got, we will do that. Okay, so to understand better, once again we recall whatever we have studied in these 25 minutes. Okay, so protozoans, protista. Okay, so they are the link between the Monera as well as the higher organisms. So they become the between these two organisms. Okay, so they have divided into Chrysophyta, dinoflagellates, euglenoids, slime moulds, and the protozoan. Okay, the chrysophytes is known as the pearls of the ocean or jewel of the plant world. They include diatoms and red golden algae, sorry, not red, it is a golden algae, also known as desmites. They are freshwater or marine water. They float and they becomes they known as a planktons, and they are majorly they are autotrophs, that is photosynthetics. Okay, so they form a box like structure with the overlapping lids. Okay, so they have a box like structure. Okay, they have a silica in their cell wall. So after the death of these diatoms, this cell wall gets deposited, gets accumulated deep in the oceans and forms the diatomaceous earth, which helps in the polishing, filtration of oils and the syrups. Okay, so these are the chief producers of the oceans. So dinoflagellates, it's mainly marine, photosynthetic. Okay, it will color yellow, green, brown, blue, red. Okay, depending on the pigments what it has in the cell. Okay, cell wall contains the cellulose. Okay, so they have a plates on outer surface, they have a hard, it's known as a theca, and then two flagellates it has, so that's a name as a dinoflagellates. Okay, so two flagella it has, one longitudinal and one is transversely. Okay, so these dinoflagellates gives the colors to the tide. Example, we have a red dinoflagellates which gives the red color to the tides of the ocean, so known as a red tides. Example is Gonilox. Also there are one more organism, is a Gymnodinium. Okay, so these two gives a red color to the ocean, so known as a red tides. But it also toxic to the organisms. Okay, so Gonilox is usually produces the toxin, kills the fishes. Sometimes what happens, it gets accumulated in the fish, and it, when human beings eats this, okay, then it will cause the neurotoxins to the helps the brain gets toxicity, and they may become a fatal to the human being. So next is euglenoids. Majority freshwater, have the both the characters of the animals as well as plants. Okay, so it has a chlorophyll, also it has a flagella, so it produces its food, that is photosynthetic, also it moves, or it can also be predator. Okay, so it has all the characters. So it has a outside, it is a protein rich layer that is known as pellicle, which makes the cells flexible. Okay, so both whenever the favorable light is available, it produces the food. If it is no, then it becomes a heterotrophs. Okay, next is the slime mold, very peculiar to this Protista group, which has the more characters of fungus. Okay, because mycelial like growth it will have. Okay, the cell contains the multinucleate, also it becomes when it becomes the aggregation. In the favorable condition it becomes aggregates and it is known as the plasmodium and grows several feet in length. During unfavorable condition, these grows in, okay, so the fruiting grows into fruiting bodies. Okay, these fruiting bodies are highly resistant. Whenever a favorable condition comes, these fruiting body will grow. Okay, and these fruiting body contains the spores. Spores is having the true cell wall. Okay, and spores are resistant even for many years, and these spores are dispersed by air current. Then comes the protozoans. Okay, so they are mainly predators or the parasites. They are grouped into 4. Okay, so major protozoans. Okay, so protozoans are grouped into 4: amoeboid, flagellate, ciliated and sporozoans. Okay, so these are divided. So amoeboid is usually freshwater, marine or moist soil. it contains the pseudopodia, that is a false feet for the movement, okay, and it has the silica shells, okay, outside in the marine, and it can be parasite. Example is Entamoeba histolytica. And these protozoans also will have the contractile vacuole, which helps in the regulate the water movement, okay. So osmoregulation. So then next comes the flagellated, okay, so it will contain the flagella, also known as mastigophora, okay. Flagellated, it's also known as mastigo, okay, phora. They are usually free living as well as parasites. Example is trypanosoma, which causes the sleeping sickness. There are other example, leishmania, which causes the kala azar, okay. Then next comes the ciliated. Example is paramecium, also known as slipper animalcule, okay. So this has the numerous cilia around the body, which helps in the fast movement of the body, okay. So it's aquatic, and it has the mouth like open, known as a gullet. It opens to the outer surface. The movement of the cilia pushes the water into the gullet to get the food, and it also have the contractile vacuole, which helps in the osmoregulation, okay. And it's a very primitive animal we can call, because it's showing the mouth like structure, even though it is a single cell, okay. Next is sporozoans. They have an infectious spore like stage in their life cycle. So mainly they are spores producing protozoans. Example is given is a Plasmodium malarial parasites. Usually it requires vector for the transfer of the disease, that is usually the Anopheles mosquito. The female Anopheles mosquito helps in the transfer of the disease from one person to the other person. So mode of transmission is through mosquito, okay. So in that Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax is a commonly seen protozoans which causes the disease. There are other Plasmodium malariae, Plasmodium ovale is also seen, okay. Usually rainy season you get this disease. This is about the kingdom Protista, okay. In next class we will study about the kingdom Mycota as well, okay. And the last class we will study about the plant and the animal and about the virus, okay. So these two chapters are left in the biological classification, okay. Thank you.